I started at the Bank of Blue Valley in 1989 in a trailer at the corner of 119th and Metcalf. 25 years later, we're going strong with $600 million in assets, serving 5 locations in metropolitan Kansas City. The bank was founded on the principles of community, philanthropy, and entrepreneurship. We believe small businesses and entrepreneurship are the engines that drive the American economy and our bank. The future success of our country is dependent on the success of small business and entrepreneurs. Studies have shown that small businesses in the last 15 years have created 120% of all new jobs in the U.S. economy, creating new jobs and providing opportunities for people displaced by larger companies who have reduced staff. The success of our country is dependent upon innovation and creativity. The vast majority of innovation and new ideas are coming from firms who have been in existence for less than 10 years. We count many of these firms among our clients. My family and I have supported this mission in many ways, and we're pleased to be collaborating with the Kansas City, Kansas Community College to celebrate entrepreneurs with this video series.
Your host for the Entrepreneur Video Profile Series. Today, our guest is Jay Matlack, owner of Tricycle Transit. Tricycle Transit is Kansas City's premier pedicab company. Welcome to the show, Jay.
Thank you for having me.
My first question, I'd like for you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Originally from the DeSoto district, school district, grew up there. Went to University of Tulsa for undergraduate, was a track person, so went there to run. And then from there, graduated, got a job. My first job was in Denver. So I went to Denver, attended the University of Denver for graduate school, but also for my first job. Did that for about 2.5 years. Loved Denver, but didn't quite feel like home.
Okay.
So after working there for 2.5 years, I found an excuse to come back to Kansas City. Job-wise and career-wise, I really wanted to come back for my family and be close to them. Mm-hmm. And it just felt more like home. And then career-wise, I got that excuse to move back by really entrepreneurship and my first business that I started, which was Tricycle Transit.
I want you to tell us a little bit about that and what inspired you to start your own business.
Yeah, a lot of different things I think always inspire you to do that. Definitely my family and parents. My dad was extremely entrepreneurial, and I got to watch that growing up. He had a lot of different projects that he was working on. So I think that was maybe always in me a little bit. But really what motivated me was being in Denver. It's an outdoors place. Everybody's outside having fun. I was in finance at the time. Okay. A great career track, but it wasn't one for me. I just wasn't enjoying it very well. I was on the 63rd floor of a huge building downtown and was working about 80 hours a week, staring at an Excel spreadsheet.
Wow.
The whole time, and not really interacting with people, not being outside, enjoying Denver and Colorado. And I would literally look out my window and see pedicabs during lunch break or just during the day riding around. And I would always think, oh, that looks like fun. I would love to be there instead of up here.
Right.
So I started pedicabbing during lunch breaks to get some exercise and interacting with people and kind of get my brain off of the finance stuff that I was doing, and enjoyed it. When I came back to Kansas City to visit family, I was walking around a First Friday event in the Crossroads, and a buddy of mine just said, "You're pedicabbing in Denver, why isn't it here? I never see it, and there's all these people." And I just kind of looked around, and at that moment we thought, that's something we could start. We always talked about doing businesses together, our friends did. This could be an opportunity.
Wow.
So we literally within a month of that discussion, we purchased 5 pedicabs, rented a semi-truck, basically, a very large U-Haul, but it felt like a semi-truck, and drove those 5 pedicabs to Kansas City. And I was living in Kansas City a month after that conversation and started that pedicab company.
Okay. Can you name some of the successes that you've had with this pedicab?
Sure.
Okay.
We we survived. You know,
Okay.
they say most businesses within 18 months or 24 months or
Right.
somewhere in there. So surviving was great. We had 4 years of what we thought was good business, and we saw growth. A huge success for us was just bringing something to Kansas City that didn't exist.
What areas were you mostly in?
We were kind of all over the metro, but we've spent most of our time probably in near Power and Light, Crossroads area. We serve the Chiefs in Arrowhead, but we've done weddings and events all over, and on the Kansas City, Kansas side, and Missouri side, and Independence, and Branson, Omaha.
So you've been everywhere.
Yeah, quite a
Okay.
few places.
Any mistakes that you've made?
Yeah, of course, a ton. We started November 2010 for pedicabs and bikes to start in the winter in Kansas City. Probably wasn't
Okay.
ideal.
Uh-huh.
We were just eager to start, so probably starting in the spring would have been better. We also thought that patrolling with pedicabs, we'd get a lot of business with pedicabs just out on any day and picking up rides. We thought, oh, people would pick up rides nonstop. You know, they'd see the pedicab and want to jump on. That wasn't the case. But what we underestimated was events. Tons of events that would happen in Kansas City that would want pedicabs. So that side of our business did a lot better than we thought. So we
Okay.
just pivoted how we were structured a little bit and did less patrolling and more events.
Okay. Wow, sounds like fun.
Yeah.
If you had one piece of advice to give to someone that's thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, what would that be?
Oh, there's so much. I wish I had something brilliant to say.
Uh-huh.
I don't, other than you know, it's pretty obvious, but stay positive. It's easy to get kind of bogged down with whether it's permitting processes or city regulations or people who aren't supportive. You know, there's always people that aren't going to love your business, and you can get bogged down with that pretty easy. So stay positive. The other one I would say too is a lot of entrepreneurs that I work with or even partners with, or myself is this way. You want to do the exciting stuff. You want to do the big stuff, but a lot of the work is mundane, can be, and people don't want to deal with that sometimes. And finding ways to excel on some of the mundane stuff and be able to do that is a big part of, I think, finding success as well.
Okay. What have been some of you mentioned just a few of them, some of your biggest distractions?
Yeah, so distractions. I always wish I could put on blinders more than I did. I would get influenced really easy by probably people maybe I didn't need to be influenced by.
Okay.
So there's times I wish I could just kind of put on blinders and do what I think was best for the business or me and my team, and move forward. But so that's definitely a distraction. Also, just life.
Okay.
You know, you things come up, and events and family, and those things are really important. But just it's a constant balance and figuring out how to be with your family and not thinking about your business, and with your business and not thinking about other stuff. It can be really challenging.
Okay. If you had an opportunity to start over, what would you do different?
Oh gosh, if I could start over, what would I do different? Oh man, probably create a model that was big from the start. I think I kept a scope. I wanted to start this in Kansas City and grow it and do really well, but you know, it could have been franchised in other cities. It could have been, I could have worked on contracting with NFL stadiums all across the U.S. I could have franchised the business. I think the next project that I work on, I'll work on scale and finding ways to really grow it and think larger and bigger margins and stuff like that. Here, my scope was pretty narrow,
Okay.
and I think that probably kept the growth smaller a little bit through the 4 years. But yeah, that would probably be it.
Something happened very recently that kind of changed things for you. Can you tell us what that was?
Sure. Sunday nights at about 10:30 p.m., we finally closed on an agreement to be acquired, essentially sold our business to another pedicab company who has 2 locations, now 3 locations counting ours, across the U.S. They have Minneapolis, Phoenix, and Kansas City. We sold to them. It was a long process. We had 3 other buyers throughout the last year and a half that we negotiated with, and just for certain reasons wasn't the best fit and didn't happen. This one ended up being the best fit and did happen. Long negotiation, even for a small business, and not large amount of dollars, but it was quite a process. But it was a learning process, and they're happy, and they're going to grow the business. They want to use it as a Midwest hub.
Okay.
And serve other markets. They want to grow the Kansas City market, which I'm thrilled about.
Okay.
And I'm convinced they're the right team to do it. They've done really well in other areas. So we're sad to not be involved anymore, because we really enjoyed it, but it was time.
Okay.
We grew it really to where we could, and we're involved in other projects that are taking their time away from it. So this management group's going to be able to get that passion back in there and grow it. And,
What are some of the things that you learned from the process of selling your business?
Patient.
Okay.
Be patient. Have like a million contingency plans. We were always thinking we're about to sell the company, and it's hard to think, when you think you're about to sell the company, it's hard to think this might fall through.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to also plan for running the business next year if this falls through. And so I was kind of doing both. I was trying to get next year, 2015 season ready to go and lined up, and as if we were running just like normal, but I also knew these sales were on the table. That can be a hard balance. And to keep riders still motivated and wanting to work with you, even though they know you might sell the business, can be difficult. So just having those contingency plans and having it all ready to go.
Did they approach you, or did you
I kind of shopped it around a little
You
bit.
did, okay.
Out of the, I guess, 4 different buyers that I had, keep calling them sellers, but buyers, 2 approached me and 2 I approached.
Okay. Wow.
So a little bit of both,
Yeah. Well, you look happy.
Yeah, I'm excited, and it's a relief, because it's a
Yeah,
lot of work,
it
and
is.
I have I have another job and other stuff, so it's going to help me focus on some other projects as well. But we're excited about pedicabs in Kansas City and growing.
Right. Well, thank you. Thank you
Thanks.
for being with us today.
You bet. Thanks,
Huh?
Robin.
Hello, my name is Dr. Doris Givens, President of Kansas City, Kansas Community College. Kansas City, Kansas Community College is a public, urban, open door, and comprehensive community college committed to excellence in higher education. Through an accessible and supportive learning environment, our mission is to provide higher education and lifelong learning to varied communities, primarily in Wyandotte and Leavenworth counties. We are the most progressive, forward-thinking, forward-moving, entrepreneurial community college in the entire state of Kansas. And with our Dr. Thomas R. Burke Technical Education Center, Business Innovation Center, and focus on entrepreneurship, Kansas City, Kansas Community College is preparing our students to become an active part of the workforce in Kansas City and providing training and continuing education opportunities to the local employers. We are excited about the opportunity to partner with the Bank of Blue Valley on the Entrepreneurial Profile Series, and hope you enjoyed this new video series and hearing from some of the most successful entrepreneurs in Kansas City. Thank you.